Hello and happy Sunday. I am doing a little mask make today. And yesterday I was showing how I was doing some of the edges of the 1700 Italian book page and using them to make labels and that sort of thing. Well, today, because I got my Tim Holtz festive overlay in the mail yesterday, I started doing some Christmas greeting type things and images. So I really like this holly a lot. And I did a little mask make yesterday of that, very little. And then today I did, some of my tickets fell over here. Today I did coffee dyed tickets. So this is what they look like before they have anything stamped on them. So I've got a fun little pile of that for my Christmas creating. And I thought I would just show how easy and fast that is, the way I do it. So yesterday I showed my little bucket here, container of coffee. And so I took, whoops, I put my tickets away. And I do have my tickets available in my coffee shop. I'm dying with coffee, so I'm thinking coffee. I think that'll be enough. I'll do those too. Maybe that might be too much. I don't like to get too carried away in my small area. Okay. So for this, I don't use a paintbrush like I did on the coffee dyeing yesterday. For this, I dip the ticket and then put it on my glass mat. I love the sound of an ice cream truck. Makes me just want to run over there and buy an ice cream. And it's, well, it's noon, so I guess I could eat ice cream at noon. But still kind of early for me to eat ice cream. He doesn't come over in this RV park, just the one that's next door to us. That's because there's a lot of kids in the one next door to us, and this one is a more of a over 55 RV park. I'm not going to do those. That's going to be too much. Hi, Jamie. Welcome. I'm coffee dyeing tickets. Okay, so then once I do this process, my next concern is getting these dry. So what I do is I take a paper towel and I blot this. But first I have to cover up my bucket of coffee. Safety first. I don't know why this one side does not want to close very easily. So I just take my paper towel and clean up as much coffee as I can. Blotting the paper. I got these off on a roll off of Amazon. I have way too many of them. So I'm just coffee dyeing them so I can put them in my coffee shop. I sell things on a Facebook group, and the ladies there seem to love anything that's coffee dyed. What are you up to today? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hi Gigi, welcome. Hey April, welcome. You were productive last night, April. I don't know who all April knows, so if I'm repeating something that you already know, forgive me, but April has a live stream practically every night on her channel. Me, we still at hospital, expect to maybe get out December 11th. I'm okay. Hubby had a transplant 24 days ago. So does that mean he's been in the hospital for 24 days now? That's a long time. I'm glad to hear things are going better. Okay, now once I dab a lot of the moisture off of here, then I take my heat gun . Wow, that's a long time. Yes, April is crafting on the back 40. Mama Juju. Amen about the prayers. Hey, Juju, April, did you know that Rachel with Roxy's Creations mom, who lives in Australia, also has the nickname Juju? Just a fun fact for you. Okay, so they're not totally dry, but a lot. They are almost totally dry. So I just wanted to show how when you're in a small space, how easy it is to coffee dye or tea dye. I usually do coffee dye because my husband and I drink instant coffee, and so I have instant coffee readily available instead of, having to brew up a cup of tea. And so this is how I do it. And I am in a small space because I live full-time in an RV, in case you didn't know that. And this is a perfect solution for me to be able to coffee dye. So these tickets are way over my quota of tickets to have. And that makes it my stash to sell. So these are going to go in my Ko-fi shop. And if you wanted to stamp on these, they stamp pretty good. Just noticed I got coffee on my... So let's see. Let's do Merry Christmas. Now the whole stamp won't fit on there, so I like to take something to put underneath it. And just get as much as possible on there. And to me, that's not bad. But I can be a perfectionist and I cannot be a perfectionist. I strive for perfection. We'll say it that way. Now, I also like to take these napkins. I have these white napkins, and I like to stamp on them too. I need a bigger block. My blocks are from Stampin' Up. I've had them for years and I love them. They're sturdy and dependable. And if you're in the market for something like that, April is a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm sure she would be happy to help you find anything that I reference that is Stampin' Up. This is my brand new Tim Holtz stamp set that I just got yesterday. I know, I like that deer stamp. I love this bird stamp. Now I'm just going to fill this one little spot in with this stamp. And I need something else. How about this? Hi Tony, welcome. Hi Bonnie, welcome. Oh my gosh, Bonnie. You're right on it, aren't you? Okay, well, I'm not going to try and fill anything more in. But, so then I can take this layer off. Oh, actually this is folded. But then I can take this off and this is just my messy area, which I'll use that for something too. But I could tear pieces of this off, and I'm hesitating to say the word because it's not one of the words that I like to say. Decoupage. I can decoupage. I mean, I guess I can say it, but I don't enjoy saying some words. Okay. So now what I was going to show is I got these in the mail yesterday too. Where's my lid? Where's my wipe? See how easy that coffee dyeing was with that little container of coffee dye and just dipping the papers? I could do that with bigger stuff too. Like yesterday I did this, but this I painted that on because I accidentally printed these pages out without a background, and I don't like white, so I have to put coffee on it. And I don't mind when the digital smear because of water. I actually love it. This makes my heart happy. Where's the rest of it? Hello. Huh. A journal somewhere. I don't know where it is. Too much stuff on my desk. But anyways, I was playing with these yesterday. So Ink and Page is a really cool digital creator, and just about everything I've ever made from her, including this is one of the first fun projects that I made from one of her free offering. Yep, I have it in a spray bottle too. I tried the big spray bottle. My husband got me one from the dollar store, but it just doesn't fit good in any of my places. So I use this tiny spray bottle, and it gets kind of sore. Yep, me too, April. You can control the darkness and grunge. But anyways, this is an ephemera holder, and she even had all this ephemera. Well, this is not part of this. This is part of this. I'll leave that there. I love this thing, and I use it all the time. And then, let's see, this was the last one, so I'll move this over to the side. And this is like a photo album. And I actually knotted it because I didn't have very much of this ribbon, and I thought this ribbon would look beautiful with this journal. And this trim came in my last purchase from a sale that Sandra did, and I love that trim with this. Excuse me. And this is a photo album. So, and there's all these photo frames that I can continue to put in here. And this is just a digital from, I think it's Tailor Made Journals, and it's called School Days. I just put a tag in that one just to give me ideas of different ways to use Yeah, me too. And I have all my work equipment here on my desk, so I'm very careful. I just put some pictures in here to give me ideas of what I can do with photo frames. This is from the corset digital kit. I think it's from, don't know. It was a freebie too. There are so many freebies out there. And now I'm starting to create my own digitals a little bit with Canva. So this was the last one that I got, and this is a Christmas Advent journal. This is just some of my stash of ribbon that I had from being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm pretty sure this is retired. But I thought it went really well with this journal. So we've got one, and actually I have another pocket here. All of this came in the kit. The pockets, the envelopes, the journal cards, the words, the numbers, I haven't done this for a long time. So I have a stack of pages on my card from a book that I tore up, and sometimes I use them as glue pages, but sometimes I like to put copy paper on the glue page and then some kind of writing paper on the back, and it just makes them a little bit more sturdy. And last night I thought, I haven't done that for a long time. I'm going to do that. Here's one of the envelopes. And they're such a nice size. So I am really going to go to town with this type of journal next year if I do Advent journals. I think, excuse me, I think I might skip a year because that's what I did before. What's fun is this glue book page was from a Hobby Lobby book that was called Women of the Bible. And so I caught the sentence that says, "Given it will be given to you." So that was cool to me. That was cool. So I just took some of the pockets or the smaller journal cards and turned them into tuck spots. For some reason, I printed out something of hers that printed out really dark like this. So I made duplicate images or mirror images for some of them, and I turned them into big charms. I didn't even put this one together yet. Whoops, got a little sticky. So for these, they're so big, I just like to take the closure thingy at the top and just flip it over the page. But all this came in the kit, including these little things. And her digitals are amazing how they coordinate with other papers that she creates. So this is about as shabby chic as I like to get. I love those apples. There's a pear one somewhere. This is me repurposing from a book that I tore apart like you did last night, April. This is part of my repurposing. Like I said, I love to do that. Her fruit is fantastic. I don't know why it appeals to me so much. The art is fantastic. There's the pear. You could the kit is free, Tony, and you could download it and have the like Home Office Depot or someplace print that for you. I keep trying to pull it off and I forgot I have it wrapped around the page. I was proud of you, April. You were in your zone. You were on a mission and you had focus and clarity. This is pretty. I mean, my printer isn't all that spectacular, and I just love all this. I don't, but you can go to Ink and Page, and what's neat is, so she has you subscribe. I'll bet you had a need for a drink, April. But she'll have you subscribe, Tony. And then what's cool is when she sends out the email, she sends out a link to all of her past projects, too. I love this one. It's so kind of neutral and easy to thanks April. There's another pair. This is something that I made on my Cricut. I found an ornament image for like die cut, and I cut them out on some cardstock that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and just put some cheesecloth on there and one of my dragonflies from my Stamp It Up stash, and then put a little topper, a little raffia topper. I love that. To me, it's like a little church. I thought I might use this image in my country church journal if I ever get around to making it. I have a nurse journal that I have in a basket and I've made a lot of progress on. And I have a book for country churches, and I have a book for children's poems that are all supposed to be, were purchased with the intent to do journals. Well, good luck on that, Bonnie. I hope you learn a lot about your Cricut. And the end. Maybe you'll be able to teach me some stuff after you're done. But one of the most important things is to know where the pause button is. I will repeat that. Know where the pause button is. Because sometimes, and I still do it to this day, I will forget to look how the picture is supposed to go. So like say this is a digital printout, and I'm supposed to lay it on my mat this way. So this is where the mat goes in. But I will get busy or not pay attention and say, because I do stuff that I print it out first with the Cricut, and then I put it on my mat, and I'll put it on my mat the wrong way, and so the Cricut will start cutting it the wrong way, and I'll just go ahead and stop it because I don't want to mess up the whole thing. I can fussy cut the other parts of it. I can't really start it over. I could, but yeah, so pay attention. If you're printing an image and then putting it on the mat and cutting, pay attention to where it's being laid down, and know where the pause button is, because sometimes even the paper will start to not feed correctly, and it'll go crunch, 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 and make all kinds of scary noises and everything, and you need to stop it before something goes terribly wrong. Those are my 2 tips of the day for using a Cricut. But I got these yesterday, and I was complaining the other day because when you buy these booklets from this product, they always give you 2. So I probably will never get to using the second one. But if you've never seen these before, this is what they look like. Ooh wee, 24 degrees. Has it snowed yet? I'm gonna bring the camera down. Let's see. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah. And sometimes because of the way I store my mats, I'll like get a bend in one of the corners. So then I've got to be careful to make sure I always feed the mat on the good side so that the bend won't cause problems. My fingers are dry and this is hard for me to go through these pages. You're not friends with Tim Holtz paper stuff. Each one of these pages is different, I noticed. Like the other one, I think you get 2 pages of the same. And then you get like some little labels. You're friends with his tools. Okay. And some little washi tape. I really like this because these are bigger and there was more stuff that was of interest to me for what it said. One's red and one's green. And then have this, and the reason why there's like only half stickers here in some places is because I was cutting the Santa Clauses off. I missed this one. There. They're nice and sticky. So, and these are just like some labels you could put on gifts. They're nice and sticky. How'd you get just one, Tony? When you order them, you have to buy 2. You definitely, because I don't do Santa. Santa has no appeal to me. There. That one's all fixed. Okay. Yeah, and I enabled her. I pulled a Bonnie and told her about the holiday paper dolls that I was buying, so she put in an order. Didn't you, April? So there's what I got with that yesterday. And I got a Taperology order today. Oh, TMI, Bonnie, TMI. So this is the last of my stash of my Stamp It Up ribbon. Not those little bows, but most of the rest of this. Not the Easter. But that's my little stash left of Stampin' Up ribbon. Okay, you plead the fifth. And this is what came in from Taperology today. One of the things. So they're nice little bundles. And I just love that stuff. Well, I'm if people like Santa, that's fine with me. it doesn't bother me one bit. But for myself, one year when my children were little babies, I was sitting in church and I was listening to the pastor, and the pastor made the comment that if you lie to your children about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny, what makes you think that they're not going to think you're lying to them about Jesus? And at that moment, a conviction fell on me, and that was it. So that's me, and that's my own conviction and own feelings, and sometimes that just comes out, like when somebody asks me why I cut the Santas off, and that's how it is. These are so cute. I can't wait till I figure out something. Oh, now, that's really TMI. Tell me that your hubby likes them too, Jamie. Way too much information. Yep, so I love this stuff. So we all have our own little... So we all have our own convictions, Bonnie. And, thank you, Jamie. And so we all have to live our lives according to our beliefs or not beliefs or whatever it may be. And I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. I'm just sitting here thinking for a minute. I think that's all I've been... Oh, I did want to show this. This came in the Taperology order, and I thought it was so cool. I haven't come up with an idea of what to do with it yet, but I feel like it's got a ton of potential. Do you guys have any ideas right off the bat? This will be more difficult where it's cut like this. But I think I could make it work. Put some glue stick down on the bottom. I don't think I ever said you weren't a Christian. I'm just saying that different people have different beliefs and they have different convictions. So I just put some glue stick underneath here, and I think that will lay down fine. Wonder what would happen when you've seen people, use it as a page. I didn't even think of that, but that would be cool. And actually, I'm getting ready to do an accordion. April's like, a page, journal card, cover, pockets. Come on, Theresa. What would it not be used for? I was just trying to see where my... I have the start of an accordion journal around here somewhere. Right here. Now I started, oops, is this it? Yes, this is it. So I have the start of an accordion journal. Okay, I'm trying to figure. So Bonnie said, I was putting the cover on my journal, and I remembered Juju had a paintbrush in glue. I opened up the glue, poured it, and paintbrushed it, and then stuck the cover on it. Well, that would work too, all depending on what the substrate is that you're gluing on there. Like tissue, that would probably be an overkill, but that sounds like that's something that would work for me with my limited space. Well, how do we make that happen, April? That you get put on a design team just for packaging paper. You could do a series, by golly. And so I think I'm going to do a little bit right there. I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to waste one little bit of this. Who asked you to be on a design team, Bonnie? April's like, oh, and collage. You could do collage with it. Oh, really? I'm going to have to go take a look at Sonia's video. Oh, you mean for design team, Bonnie? That when you're design team, it's hard to use their stuff if you don't like something that they put out. I get that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this freehand. I'm going to try. Hold still, Theresa. Okay. So I left a little tiny bit up here just to see if it'll work. Sometimes unsecured stuff like that will just cause a problem. And this needs some more glue anyways. This accordion journal is a base for one of the Christmas journals that I'm going to do for Terry's Crafting Christmas, which that collaboration starts tomorrow. My videos are scheduled for the 16th and the 27th. I'm doing a tall journal, and I'm doing this one. This one will probably be for the 27th because I've made more progress on the tall journal than this one. Oops, too much glue. So because that bumps up like that, next I want to see how it will ink up. Anything that bumps up should be inked in Theresa's world. The world of Theresa. Scary place. Okay, grab some ink, and I just want to hit it. I just want to try, like when you emboss a card with Stampin' Up, you just hit it, and actually, I have done that, but I more like to take the embossing folder and run ink on it and then run the ink through the embossing machine. So I don't do this sort of thing with embossed images so much. Okay, that's enough. I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt something. Well, that's cool. I have one more page background. I have one more page background done. It's going to be a lot of work, so this will definitely be the later video, because I have to figure out how to bring those two areas together. Sorry, just talking out loud. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. So let's see, Jamie was saying, I was just thinking this morning that I might like to be on Elizabeth Crafts DT, but I don't know if they even have one, other than the folks they have all the time. I don't think I've watched her channel before. I'll have to write that down and go take a peek. Elizabeth Crafts. I'll go take a look. Oh, you know, it's weird. Don't anybody take offense at this, because if anybody were to say, Theresa, your voice drives me nuts, I put you on mute. Wouldn't bother me one bit. But I enjoy listening to European people talk more than I do American people, for the most part. Now, I was just thinking this about April last night. In April, I'm not blowing smoke up your skirt, but I was thinking, oh my gosh, she can constantly talk all through her live stream, and she doesn't say, but, you know, make all kinds of noises like the rest of us do when we're trying to think of what our next sentence is going to be. She just spits it all out, and her she doesn't squill when she's talking and stuff like that. So April, well, sometimes you consider putting on the CC so that you can understand some of the words she's saying, but it's so funny because it's really cute, because sometimes she'll say something and I'll go, did she just say pimp? Or, you know, she'll say a word that sounded like something else. Or one time I think she said something and it kind of sounded like porn. I'm like, did she just say that? And I'll listen real hard, and it is a lot of fun. It makes the videos fun and that sort of thing. So for an American, her videos are some of my favorites. And then I like to listen to Louisa Heinzel, who's German, and Barbara, who is Australian. I know I did do CZ one time, April. Yeah, the computer does not understand you one bit. Who else is American that I like to listen to? I mean, I listen to them, but that, but sometimes I have to fast forward people, or I have to put them on mute. Where are you from, Jamie? So when I do videos, I try not to say a lot of buts. I try not to say a lot of uhs. I try not to take out my grandma brag book and just blow you up about how great my grandchildren and blah, blah, blah. I do like to share real life to a degree, and that sort of thing. But I do a lot of that in my shorts, like when I'm traveling, show where I'm traveling around. Oh, you're a Texan. Well, it's true, April. Like I said, I'm not blowing smoke up your skirt. Um, but I will say, April, that I've noticed lately that you seem to get more texts during your videos than you used to. And the ding when it happens is kind of loud sometimes. So if a person were wearing earbuds, it would probably hurt. But I could live with it. I'm just giving constructive feedback. Man, I've been on top of chat all this time again. Sheesh, if I missed your comments, I'm sorry. Oh, I do it all the time. I'm on top chat too. Yeesh. I wish it would default to live chat, and if you want top chat, then you change it to top chat. So, okay. I've said enough controversial stuff in this video, but two things. It wouldn't be a Theresa video if I didn't have bloopers. I don't think I had a blooper in this one. Sorry. And it wouldn't be a Theresa video if I didn't say something controversial. So, y'all have a great day. I hope that you enjoyed your 4-day weekend if you had one. And the other thing, April, is every time that happens, I look around for my phone to see if I have a message. Because it sounds like it's right in the room with you. Sure. Just letting you know. I would love to be a fly on your wall and see what kind. I am the nosiest person about people's work life. And it started more so when I first got together with Jeff, and he told me about his sister who works from her home, and she worked for she built software. She developed software for banks, I think is what she did. And I was so fascinated by that, and I was so intrigued because she had a nice home and nice cars and looked really financially secure and everything. And I just had such a passion to be virtual and to work for myself from my home like that. And like 2 years later or something, I developed my own virtual business as a bookkeeper with a niche market of property management software with Appfolio. So, and it's because I have that niche that I was able to bring in the bigger bucks. You're on call 24/7. But what intrigues me about that, April, is that from what you've described, what you do, which is a lot of computer work, and you, I feel like you do some development of software for the hospital or something like that too, from what I've tried to glean. So, and I've gotten the glimpse that you're probably 24/7, and I was like, why does she have to be on call when she's got more of like an admin job? So, but then the other night you said something about coverage, night nurse coverage and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she's responsible for making sure that people show up for different shifts, and maybe it's more complicated during the holidays and stuff like that. My daughter, who is in social work, worked for a company that did home visits and stuff, and she was responsible for making sure that people showed up, and if they didn't show up, she as a supervisor had to show up, because these are handicapped or disabled children who some have, like, they get rowdy. Nurse informatics. That is just so foreign to me. I'm going to Google it. I am going to Google it because, like I said, I am super nosy about some things. Nurse informatics. Like Carrie talked about her job one time. So maybe if the software breaks down, you have, because you know the software, you have to troubleshoot and do things to make sure all systems are running. But Carrie was talking about the like audit work she does for hospitals, and goes in and makes sure the oxygen has been checked or something like that. And I found that super interesting. And then she made the comment the other day about how she was, after Thanksgiving, her scrubs were getting tight. And one of the other chat people said, what? You wear scrubs? And when I read that, I was like, oh yeah, she's not doing nursing work. Why does she wear scrubs? So it's just funny how there are so many pieces of information out there, and so much knowledge to be had. And it's not about, being nosy. I want to be in your business. I just love to learn about how the world works. We all go into hospitals on occasion, and we walk in there and we don't realize the whole complex wave of operations that go around there. We walk into a school and we don't know all the complex things that go there, and banks and that sort of thing. Yes, and if nurse can log on or have any issue with computer, but I also have been there 32 years, so if they have any issues or questions, they usually call me. And you're up all night, so they know, oh, April will be up crafting, so we'll just give her a call. Okay, this was an extremely entertaining and interesting chat today. Thanks, guys, for sharing all your expertise and knowledge, and I look forward to seeing you in other chats and having you come visit again for one of my other live streams. And hope you have a perfect, wonderful rest of your Sunday. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Yuma, Arizona. And One of these days I might go outside and take a walk. Don't hold your breath, though. Don't hold your breath. Take care, guys. Bye. Oh, and Jamie, I need to remember that you're in Texas, because I'm trying to keep track of people who I meet online that are in Texas, because I'm going to be in Texas 2026 for November and December around the Italy, Texas area. I'll be about, so I need to write it down where I'm going to be at so I can say that. But I'm trying to keep track of the people that are going to be in Texas, that live in Texas, so maybe I can reach out to them and invite them out for a cup of coffee, which I did with Tony this last time when I went to Idaho. We met at, I've been talking too much, my throat's getting dry. We met at Sherry's and had breakfast, and that was really cool. I even have a short video of it up on my channel if you're interested in seeing that. Okay, I promise I'm going now. Take care. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.